Let me introduce you to Sut Jhally. Born in Kenya in 1955, raised in England, and currently a professor of communications at the University of Massachusetts Amherst, Jhally is an academic and filmmaker of the African diaspora who should be recognized for his contribution to the landscape of media representation. Through his work as a filmmaker and educator, Sut Jhally has covered some of the most foundational theories of race and representation to the study of the Black aesthetic. Jhally's importance as an artist and academic can be seen in his 3-decade-long commitment to documentary media, and can be shown in his 1997 film Race, the Floating Signifier, featuring Stuart Hall. Jhally's 1997 film Race, the Floating Signifier, featuring Stuart Hall, works to represent the ideas of Hall's original 1996 lecture by making the content more accessible through documentary film form. Hall developed and presented his ideas in the Academy. Jhally's transformative work removes it from that environment, placing the ideas in the realm of independent documentary. Sut Jhally's argument in the film, articulated through Hall, is that race is a socially constructed concept, and that all attempts to show scientifically that black folk are biologically different than those deemed white have failed. Race is a badge of meaning that can signify wildly different things to different people. The inherent characteristic of race only exists in what W.E.B. Du Bois would call the difference of color, hair, and bone. Jhally uses a combination of participatory and expository documentary form to explore Hall's ideas on race. The participatory aspects of the film are seen when Jhally centers himself on the screen, giving the introduction to Stuart Hall as a theorist and central figure to the field of cultural studies. Jhally draws himself close to Hall, relating the first time he heard him speak and the inspiration Hall has been to his own work. This introduction is essential in giving authority to Hall as a theorist and setting the stage so this documentary can exist without the need for outside knowledge that is specialized and guarded. The expository nature of the documentary is formed in how Jhally blends the lecture of Hall with the addition of photography and the construction of chapters to focus the work. Jhally frames Hall as the authoritative voice in the film, who furthers the specific argument of race as a discursive concept. Where this role in expository documentaries is often filled by a voice of God style of narration, Jhally uses Hall's narration to address the questions raised at the beginning of each section. In doing so, Jhally reorders the original lectures to maximize the clarity and arc of Hall's argument, breaking the lecture into scenes. Within each section, Jhally curates a selection of B-roll and cutaways to reinforce and further the words of Hall underneath. Jhally is using the freedom of editing to change the continuity of Hall's presentation and have it work visually as well as auditory. The B-roll that Jhally uses is a mix of current sources and archival footage that center the theories of the film in the current moment and provide historical context. In 2021, many of the images are antiquated, and the moments of referral to current events carry less weight than they did in 1997. A contemporary adaptation of Jhally's film would only need new images. The theories, content, and the structure are just as effective 25 years later. Race, the Floating Signifier, featuring Stuart Hall, is a prime example of Jhally's work, but it is only one of nearly 50 documentaries that he has either produced, directed, or supported through the Media Education Foundation, established in 1991 by Jhally as a way to provide documentary as a teaching tool. The organization has grown into a media education foundation that is committed to the production of independent media on the most pressing issues of race, representation, and politics. The works vary from bringing new meaning to theoretical thinking to the pursuit of justice and untold stories. Still acting as the director of the MEF, Jhally continues to make films that spread specialized knowledge outside of the Academy in a way that is entertaining and powerfully educational. Through Jhally, any student of the Black aesthetic and the politics of representation can get a full education.